step 3 of the Business Finance Suite is really one of the most important steps that you're going to work with, because in this step, you're going to get approved for credit that reports to the business credit reporting agencies. And what's unique about the creditors that are available in this step is that all of them will give you credit even if you have no credit reporting now, and they will report the credit to the business credit reporting agencies. Plus, on top of that, they don't require any kind of cash flow verification, collateral, or any kind of consumer credit check for approval. So, even as a startup business, you're still able to come in and get approved. Now, this is very important because when you look at a commercial credit report like this one, you can easily get a failing score. As you can see here, this is a very high-risk credit score, even when you have absolutely no trade accounts reporting. So you can see on this report, there's no bad items, there's no positive items either. There's no trade lines, there's no liens, there's no judgments, there's no UCC filings, but just because Experian knows the business exists, they automatically will give them a failing score, typically of 25 to 29. Now, you can also take a look at this in comparison and see here's an excellent score, very, very, very low risk, in the lowest risks category that you can get. And what's interesting is that with this credit report, it was obtained with only one account. And being that this is a packaging net 30, this is probably a Uline account. So even one account can take somebody like this person was from a 28 score all the way up to an excellent score just because one account is added on the credit report. And that's what we help you do here in step 3. So a lot of products, or a lot of these companies like at Uline or Quill, for example, it's easy to find things that you possibly could use. They sell over 1 million products, everything that you could possibly need for any kind of office, you're able to get at a place like Quill. So it's very easy to do. But if you go to a place like Uline, well, they sell shipping supplies. So it might not be as easy to find things that you could actually benefit from. Now, there's all kinds of things that you could easily fall back on. For example, there's all kinds of tape. You can get any kind of tape you can imagine here. You can also come in and get all kinds of packaging and mailers. So you can actually get envelopes, all those type of things. So again, the purpose isn't to come in and buy a bunch of stuff that you don't want to use. The purpose and the benefit of vendors like this is to get the initial credit that you need to get your scores from low to high, so then that opens up the door for you to being able to come in and start getting the high limit revolving credit accounts as you start to move through the other steps of the actual finance suite. So again, you might have to do a little bit of digging at places like Uline, but you can easily find things that your business can use. So for example, Strategic Network Solutions, well, they offer all kinds of different solutions for networking and security. But when you look at their services, they also have basic services that have to do with basically looking for spamware, looking for malware on your computer. So these are basic services that aren't really expensive that you could use and build your business credit at exactly the same time. The same also is for places like Grainger. So if we look at Grainger, they sell outdoor office supplies. Well, if you have an office, you might not find the benefit of being able to find things here that you can use. They have all different kinds of products such as, HVAC and refrigeration, hardware, hydraulics, motors. This might not be a direct benefit. You might not think there's a lot you can use here. But then again, there are things like batteries that everybody can use. They also sell every different kind of batteries, and this probably isn't the best example, but you can actually come in and even go to double A batteries or triple A batteries and come in and find a bunch of stuff that you absolutely are using day to day that you can get from here. You can also come in and go to kind of my go-to, which is first aid kits. So there's all kinds of first aid kits and first aid resources at places like Grainger, Band-Aids and first aid kits that you could easily use, Advil, things that you could easily use for your home office or for your actual commercial office as well. So remember, the point of step 3 is to get you from no credit score, a failing credit score because you have nothing reported, all the way to a positive credit score by adding some accounts to your credit report that report to the business credit reporting agencies, that won't look at your personal credit for approval, that don't care about your cash flow collateral. Very difficult sources to find. You've got a selection here to choose from. Just keep in mind, yes, you may need to spend a little more or buy some things you typically wouldn't buy, but it's a small sacrifice because in the process, you're able to get yourself to a point where you can start getting high limit revolving accounts, auto financing, even Visa cards and MasterCards that you can easily use for your business as a result once you get these accounts. So the key is to find the accounts that you want, go through, apply, get approved, use the account. Then you want to pay the bill as soon as it's received. Do not pay the bill until you actually have the item shipped. It's not considered to be a net 30 credit account, for example, unless the item is actually shipped. So wait till the item shipped and pay the bill. Now, our advice is to buy at least once from these creditors, and it doesn't hurt necessarily to buy 2 or 3 times, although you don't necessarily need to. And it's a good idea to buy at least $50 worth of stuff or more. I try to stay right around the $50 mark, and you don't have to, but places like Quill require you spend $50 to report it to Dun & Bradstreet, but other of the reporting agent or other of the credit issuers don't necessarily have that requirement. So even if you spend 10, 20 or $30, you're still able to get credit approved in a lot of cases. And again, if you go to the Learn More section on any source, we tell you all those type of things. So for example, if you need to spend $50, then we'll put right here, payments over $50 monthly. If you don't see that, that means you could pretty much spend any amount and get it reported. But just to stay safe, we always stay right around the $50 order to make sure it gets reported. So go through step 3. Make sure you find the accounts that you can actually find some things in there for your product or for your company. And in doing so, you can then take your credit from non-existent or low scores to high scores, which opens up the door for us to be able to get you high limit revolving accounts, even auto vehicle financing in the future steps.